Okay, so here you are growing up in this crazy environment.
Yeah.
You're going to high school.
Yeah.
You play football. You play football in high school.
Football, I wasn't that good at football. My best sport was baseball.
Okay.
I could really pitch.
Well, and you were actually the first person in your family that graduated high school?
Graduated high school, yeah.
Okay. And initially you wanted to go to college, right?
Yeah, I wanted to be an architect.
But your father was actually a known wrestler.
Very famous, yeah. My father was much larger than me. He was 7 foot. 7 foot and weighed 425 pounds. Huge man.
Right. Grizzly Smith?
Grizzly Smith.
Okay. So as a kid, did you have any aspirations to be a wrestler?
Absolutely not. I hated wrestling. I blamed wrestling for all the problems at home. I blamed wrestling saying, well, the reason my dad can't be with me is because he has to wrestle, you know? And that wasn't it at all. He didn't want a family.
Right, because even when you graduated high school, your dad didn't show up.
He never showed up for graduation. He never showed up for a ball game. He never showed up for shit, man. And, you know, when I graduated from high school, I went down to see him, you know, just to tell him, hey, I made it, you know. Because all I ever wanted out of him was for him to say, I'm proud of you, son, you know. I think every kid needs that. But when I went down there, he's like, well, I hope you don't want any money from me. I don't have anything to give you. And I'm like, you know, you haven't given me anything yet. Why would I expect anything now? You know, but a couple of nights later, I went to one of the shows and started drinking beer, which I've been drinking for some time, and got a little tipsy, and then my brain, in all of its wisdom, thought, well, if I want my dad to be proud of me, I should get in the ring and beat up a wrestler. Then he'll have to be proud of me. Which at the time, it seemed like a great idea. You know, I just didn't consider that wrestler might not want to be a part of that, you know. And when I got in the ring, he tore my ass a new one, man. He wore me out. And I couldn't even walk back to the locker room. I had to crawl. Because the guy had really done a number on me. And my father met me at the door, and he just looked down at me and said, I'm ashamed of you. You're gutless, and you'll never amount to anything. I remember those 3 words, man, just like a dagger in my heart. And I remember that night going home and just saying, you know, praying to the devil, praying to God, whoever would listen, I'll do anything it takes to be the best wrestler ever, to be better than my father.
Well, you were 19 when you had that first wrestling match?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, did you get married at 18?
Yep.
Okay, why so young?
Pregnancy.
There you go.
Doing the right thing.
Okay, you had your first child, your daughter.
Correct.
I mean, what was it like to be a teenage dad at that point without, I mean, because there was really no career yet, right?
No, it was tough. It was tough. I didn't start out wrestling. I started out refereeing, so at least there was money coming in. You know, we had money. That wasn't a problem. But yeah, it was real tough, man. Learning to be a father, and it wasn't the best situation, man. The lady that I married, she's a great woman, but we had nothing in common. You know. Shouldn't have gotten married.
Okay, so here you are, a new dad, newly married. You're trying to start this new career. You started out as refereeing, but you actually then progressed to actually doing wrestling on the indie circuit,
right? Essentially,
and you're going to small towns, and you're starting to, you know, get your feet wet.
Yep.
I guess you were in Stampede Wrestling originally?
I went several places first. I went to Florida, went all over Tennessee, Georgia. Then I went up to British Columbia. It was my first break, so to speak. That's when you move up the card to the main event. And I moved up the card to the main event. Then I went over to Calgary and stayed there for, 8-10 months. I was the main event the whole time there. And then I came back down south to Louisiana, Mid-South Wrestling.
Okay, and then by 1982, you got divorced.
Yeah.
You had said in your documentary that being on the road kind of messed up your sex life because you're having threesomes and everything else like that.
It did, man, because I was foolish and, I wanted to try everything. And I did. And I tried multiple partners at the same time. And, when your mind and body gets used to that, that's kind of what you like and what you want. Well, it's kind of hard to go back home and be straight with mama, You kind of get there and you kind of come up short whenever it's time to deliver. You're not excited. You got to have much more than this to be excited. And here's a baby crying over here in the corner, and you're thinking, well, what can I do? You can't do shit. That's one of my big regrets.